It is Saturday, the 15th of March 2014. You're watching KTN Weekend at 1. My name is Najmi Ismail. A village in KITENGELA is counting its losses after a pride of lions killed over 15 goats in a night attack. Area residents are now urging the Kenya Wildlife Service to find a lasting solution to the persistent conflict.
Residents of Oloika village in Isinya district count their losses after a night attack. As they slept, a pride of lions believed to have come from the neighboring Nairobi National Park pounced on goats in a shed, killing over 15 and mauling several others. The resulting loss estimated at over 200,000 shillings.
Simba waliingia kwa boma kama ilikuwa imenyesha. Walivamia mbuzi zaidi ya 25 na zingine karibu mbuzi 10 zimepotea. Tumepata hasara kubwa sana leo usiku.
This latest attack comes just 3 days after lions killed a cow in the same village. This state of affairs, residents say, now threatens their livelihoods.
Hizo mbuzi ndio sisi tulikuwa tunategemea letu ndio tunasomesha watoto leo. Tulipata hasara leo usiku hii.
Residents notify the Kenya Wildlife Service of both attacks, urging warders to take action and find a lasting solution to the human-wildlife conflict.
Kama KWS hawataweza kuzingatia wanyama ama kutuzingatia vile mzigo zetu zinakuliwa hapa, tunasema hiyo haifai kabisa.
And we are asking Kenya Wildlife Service to leave Nairobi immediately, come and compensate the people who have been affected and get a long-lasting solution to this problem.
Residents living around the national park have in the past reported several attacks by animals believed to have come from the park. The Kenya Wildlife Service has, however, warned residents against taking matters into their own hands. Wilkis Tanyapwa, KTN.
Now, Nairobi County received relatively heavy rainfall throughout the night until this morning. The rains caused flooding on some sections of the roads in the city. A section of Uhuru Highway was flooded at the Nyayo Stadium roundabout near the Commonwealth War Memorial Cemetery and at the Uhuru Highway, Haile Selassie Junction. Flooding was also witnessed at the intersection of Langata Road and Mbagathi Way at the roundabout near the T-Mall. According to the Meteorology Department, rainfall forecast for the next 5 days indicates several parts of western sector of the country and central highlands, including Nairobi County, will receive rainfall for the next 3 days. The rain is expected to reduce in intensity by Tuesday next week. The weathermen have advised local authorities where rainfall is likely to be enhanced to open up drainage systems early enough so as to avoid flash flooding. The Met Department says lightning strikes are expected in western Kenya, especially within Gisi and Kakamega counties, while flooding could occur in Budalangi and Kano Plains. Moving on, Bungoma Senator Moses Wetangula has defended himself over a court ruling indicting him for voter bribery during the March 4th election. Wetangula claims the file on the alleged offences have since been closed, but his critics are using the verdict to question his suitability to lead. The senator says reviving the claims is malicious.
Once an appeal is dismissed, then it means the judgment of the lower court stands. And what did the judgment of the lower court say? They allege that we gave some money to bishops, and the judge ordered that there be an investigation in the matter. An investigation ordered by the DPP was carried out, and the DPP received a report from the director of CID, which report I was given a copy, and they found that the allegations were baseless, and the DPP ordered the file closed. That is the end of the matter. For somebody to now start spinning stories and information that is totally untrue and unhelpful.
Homa Bay Senator Otieno Kajwang has criticized government's salary cuts proposal as austerity measures to shield the country from the rising public wage bill. The senators say the government should seek prudent measures of sealing loopholes in the public sector. Kajwang in fact says the wage bill is set to increase owing to the shortage of teachers in the country, a factor that will compel the state to employ more.
That wage bill, I can swear to the president, will continue to rise, because the president must continue paying our teachers and must increase the number of teachers in Kenya by almost 40,000. So to say that the wage bill is too high, we are not employing, and in fact those whom we have employed must reduce their salary, will not solve that problem, because the pupils and the students must be taught, and the teachers must be employed, and they must be paid well. So to suggest that the wage bill is too high and this is impossible, it is consuming more than 70% of our revenue, is not helpful.
Pupils in Laikipia North who have been making do with stones as sits will now enjoy the use of proper desks and learning equipment, courtesy of well-wishers. The Good Samaritans responded to a story that had been aired on KTN highlighting the pupils' plight. 10 members of the Joining Hands Association, accompanied by staffers of the Standard Group, donated the materials.
The roads in Laikipia North are in a deplorable state and quite impassable, hindering economic growth. Our journey to Sek Primary School on your way past Doldol was not without its fair share of hitches. The poor state of roads has not been the least of worries for the residents of this part of the country. As highlighted in a previous story aired on KTN, children are forced to sit on stones and the classes are in a dilapidated state. This obviously sets them back in matters of education, yet they are expected to compete with their counterparts from other parts of the country. Members of the Joining Hands Association did join hands to donate funds to purchase desks and other learning equipment. Staffers from the Standard Group joined the 10 members of the Joining Hands Association in their mission. The organization reaches out to orphans and vulnerable children and enrolls them in school.
Huwa mbeleni tunakaa chini kukalia mawe kama nyani, lakini kwa uwezo wa Mwenyezi Mungu shirika la KTN ndio wameweza kwenda kutusaidia, kutuuza kwa Samaria wema.
Watu wakifikiria mambo ya kuwa digital, sisi hata hatuko analog, tuko Stone Age. Kwa sababu hii ni maajabu. Kenya ikisherehekea miaka 50 tangu kupata uhuru, sisi tunasherehekea watoto kama hawa kukalia mawe.
I thank KTN for highlighting these children, because if it was not KTN, these children could not be supported. And the time I saw that story, I just sat down with the members of Joining Hands. I told them what was in my heart, and they told me that we'll come together and we'll support these children.
Na sisi kama station ya KTN, kama Standard Group, tunafuraha sana kufanya stories, kuonyesha yale ambao watu wanapitia, mambo ambao watu wengine kule nje hawawezi kuwa wanajua. Na tumefurahi sana na tungependa encourage other Kenyans wajitokeze kusaidia Wakenya wengine.
The CDF committee said the school would receive 700,000 from the CDF kitty, and a further 3 million shillings will be set aside for the renovation of the road.
And we have a lot of things we intend to do to this school. We intend to build a lot of classes in every financial year. We intend to build at least one class.
So dire is the situation that the community told of how they lost one of their own recently owing to bad roads, as only a boda was available to ferry the sick to hospital. This donkey also serves as an ambulance for the residents.
Ni area ambayo imetengwa na serikali kwa miaka nenda miaka rudi. Sisi hatujifunii kama Wakenya. Watoto wetu walikuwa wanakalia kiti mawe kama nyani. Sasa tumeletewa viti.
The more than 50 seats and land and materials donated by the Standard Group will go a long way in transforming the lives of these children who are in pursuit of education, but more will still need to be done to give these children a sure start in life. Carol Derry for KTN in Total, Laikipia North.
Baringo County Senator Gideon Moi and National Lands Commission officials have moved to quell animosity in Mochongoi's settlement scheme. Tensions have been running high in the scheme over ownership of the land, but the senator and the lands official promised a lasting solution for the residents. The Baringo senator, who addressed the warring communities, said a committee to probe issues surrounding the land ownership in the scheme will be formed and make its report within 2 weeks. The intervention comes amidst attacks by a section of Endoroi's sub-tribe over the land dispute. The settlement scheme was formed from the expansive Marmanet forest in 1993 to resettle people whose land had been taken by the government to construct dams. The residents occupying the scheme now want to be issued with title deeds.
Of all stakeholders, for that once and for all, the issue of Mochongoi, the title deeds, the degazettement of the forest will be sorted out. And we've got the full cooperation and support of the National Land Commission in this matter. And we say that we'll do it within the next 2 to 2.5 weeks time.
Tunajua ya kwamba mumekaa huko kwa wengi na serikali ndio ilikubalia nyinyi kukaa huko. Tena tumesikia hata nyinyi mkajiongezea kidogo. Lakini hiyo tutazungumza tukikaa pamoja na hatutakosana. Leo nataka kusema tu mkae kwa amani na utulivu na muongoje turudi tukae pamoja na nyinyi tutatue hii shida once and for all.
Now to the final part of our series, Jail Juveniles. Just what would make a teenager kill his own parent? Wilson Buru now brings you the story of the boy who is serving time for murdering his biological father.
March 25th, 2013, Huruma Village, Naivasha. A 15-year-old boy is taken into custody after allegedly killing his father over a radio. Let's call him Joseph Obura, but it's not his real name. He's tried and sentenced to 3 years at a Boston institution, in this case, Shikusa in Kakamega. Obura says on that fateful Saturday afternoon, his mother had instructed him to go fetch water from the neighbor's house. When he returned, he had a case to answer.
Kurudi nyumbani nikakaa, sasa nilikuwa natengeneza chakula ile tukula. Nikakaa mama akakuja. Kuingia kwa nyumba yenye alikuwa ameweka ng'ombe yake tu. Ng'ombe yenye anauzanga. Sasa mimi kukuja nikakaa, akakuja kauliza hii bombe yenye niliacha yuko yote.
He insists his father was the culprit, but the father did not take the accusations kindly.
Ndio tunaona amelewa, akamwambia pombe umekunywa. Na inaonekana ni yeye tu umekunywa, hakuna mtu mwingine. Nikamwambia umuulize tu yeye. Sasa nilisikia nikimwambia tu muulize yeye, akasema ati wanakombanisha tu ili wapigane.
Obura's relatives in Huruma maintain the relationship with his father was cordial until this specific incident.
Musa alikuwa anampenda kuliko wengine. Hajako sana kutoka zamani.
She says the two argued over the volume of the radio, but adds that the boy had no intention of killing his father.
Siku hiyo vile Musa alikanyaga na kuambia mtoto akimbiza choo, ndio alisirika. Akarusa, akaona kama atamurusa tu uchunge ise, akakuta ameua. Alimurusa tu kama mchezo tu, na sisi tu kuona kama mtu ameenda kukuba basamba. Mtu vile walikimbia hivi tukafikiri wataenda kusunguka bakuje pande hii. Watu wakatoka, watu wamekaa aje. Wale kuangalia Musa anakaa wasamba hivi. Musa amekufa.
Obura, however, insists that he was just trying to defend himself.
Kwa sababu ati nasema ati ni yeye, hataki niseme ati ni yeye. Na yeye tu ndo alikuwa nyumbani, hataki niseme ni yeye, anataka ati Nataka sasa niseme, sasa nikashindwa nataka niseme nani kama si yeye, na hakuna mwingine alikuwa na hiyo kifunguu.
Mama yako alisema nini?
Sasa mama alinyamaza tu, akachukua hiyo pombe akaenda kuweka nyumba nyingine. Venye alienda kuweka nyumba nyingine, ndio sasa na mimi nikajitoa nikaenda kwa nyumba. Na sasa yeye akaingia kwa nyumba na hasira, tena kuleta chuma ndio anapiga naye.
At Shikusa, he took up masonry and went through counseling to help him better manage his anger.
Nashukuru tu Mungu kwa sababu sasa mimi niliona tu hiyo hasira yangu yenyewe ilileta hasara sasa.
Naona kama umerekebisha hiyo kuwa na hasira kubwa.
Nimerekebisha. Nikirudi nyumbani nitaenda kazi vizuri.
Aboro says he has asked for forgiveness for what he did.
Waliomba msamaha. Aliomba msamaha, hata akasema nisamehe. Kamwambia mimi sina ubaya, lakini kama ukichua siku hilo unapita hivi kumkongo ukiacha tu. Lakini akasema nilikosea, lakini nisamehe.
And now he has to contend with his impending return to the society after he has paid his dues. Will the society accept him back? Wilson Buru for KTN's Jailed Juvenile series.
Now to the international scene, to one more twist in the science around the origins of man. A new study now claims that the creature named by scientists as Littlefoot may have walked the earth 3 million years ago. If so, it would make Littlefoot one of the oldest members of the Australopithecus hominid family ever found. KTN's Wilkista Nyabo reports.
For 13 years, French and South African scholars have studied the remains of the strange-looking creature named Littlefoot. Littlefoot is the most complete skeleton of an Australopithecus ever found, and its age has been a controversial topic. Barely a meter tall, Littlefoot fell into a 20-meter hole and died, possibly while running from a predator. Over the years, the remains were buried under more than 10 meters of sediment and rock until they were uncovered in 1997 in South Africa. In 2006, a paper in the journal Science estimated Littlefoot's age at 2.2 million years. Now, a team of French and South African scientists say calcite deposits that enveloped Littlefoot's skeleton were much younger than the fossil, meaning Littlefoot may have lived some 3 million years ago, almost 1 million years earlier than calculated by rival teams. If so, this would make Littlefoot one of the oldest members of the Australopithecus hominid family ever found.
Now, new theories are emerging about missing Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. One new report suggests the possibility that foul play may be involved, but that's just one of the many theories.
Messages of hope are scattered among the scribbles on this makeshift memorial. It stretches across the walls of the Kuala Lumpur airport. They're spelled out in several languages, left here by strangers and the families of the passengers aboard Malaysia Airlines Flight 370.
I am upset. Very, very upset. I am really hoping they will find this plane.
Every day seems to bring a new set of theories about what happened. Reuters is reporting military radar confirmed the plane flew west toward the Andaman Islands. This suggests the flight may have been hijacked or intentionally redirected.
If indeed that plane did change course and deviate from its former waypoints on its planned route, then obviously there was a reason something had to happen in that airplane to make it intentionally go in a different direction.
Another theory, one U.S. official seems to think the jet is gone, likely at the bottom of the Indian Ocean. But there are many theories, and investigators are struggling to keep up.
The search area is expanding.
Malaysian officials announced the hunt for the plane is spreading further into the Indian Ocean, as well as further east into the South China Sea.
We want nothing more than to find the plane as quickly as possible, but the circumstances have forced us to widen our search.
More ocean to cover and progress hard to find, while the writing on the walls continues to grow. In Washington, I'm Bono Sandoval.
Well, a French court has sentenced a former Rwandan army captain to 25 years in prison over the 1994 genocide. Pascal Simbikangwa, a 54-year-old former member of the Rwandan Presidential Guard, was found guilty of perpetrating genocide and of complicity in crimes against humanity. The landmark ruling came just weeks ahead of the 20th anniversary of that genocide.
French nationals gathered at a local court to listen to the trial being closely watched in France, as the country has been long accused of failing to rein in the Rwandan regime at the time of the genocide between April and July 1994 that left 800,000 dead. Pascal Simbikangwa, a 54-year-old former member of the Rwandan Presidential Guard, was accused of inciting, organizing, and aiding massacres during the genocide, particularly by supplying arms and instructions to Hutu militia who were manning roadblocks and killing Tutsi men, women, and children. He was arrested in 2008 on the French Indian Ocean island of Mayotte, after which Paris refused to extradite him to Rwanda and decided to try him under laws that allow French courts to consider cases of genocide. And now, yesterday, the court found Pascal guilty of the charges.
Justice was served, and that's the most important. Justice was served for the victims, for them. They were recognized here at the heart of this law court, and that's huge. I think the French legal system did an about-face.
The defense, on the other hand, had requested that he be acquitted, saying that the trial was politically motivated and describing witnesses as unreliable and guided by spite, coaching, or fear.
La place qu'aux arguments du parquet.
We told you this was a political trial. It's a trial where, for the first time, we are returning a guilty verdict for genocide. So, send a strong message to Kigali, saying that for 20 years, France was always last, and that now it's top of the class on this. I think this is a crazy reaction coming from this country.
The court proceedings are being filmed and will soon be available to members of the public, more specifically for Rwandan nationals. Ian Wafula, KTN.
Moving on to sports now, with Gor Mahia and AFC Leopards now officially out of international football, focus now shifts to local league. The two clubs have tough fixtures this weekend. AFC Leopards, who were stung by Muhoroni Youth in a midweek fixture, will return to the field again on Sunday against Sofapaka in a match that could break or make the team's ambitions of finishing tops this season. Gor Mahia invites top team Western Steamer on Sunday, hoping to jumpstart their title defense hopes. Gor Mahia are 7th, having won their 2 matches. Leopards sit a distant 15 ahead of winless top Fry Nakuru after playing 3 matches. Pace setters Western Steamer are waiting to rub salt on Leopards' wounds. Chemelil Sugar, who entertained debutants top Fry Nakuru, could jump on top of the table should Steamer fail to electrocute Leopards. Meanwhile, newcomers KRA are soaring their top 5 placing, but should be wary of 3rd place Sony Sugar, who they play against today in Muhoroni. Moving on to the EPL, his weekend's game, week of 30 of ever surprising English Premier League, is expected to be action-packed, with the Liverpool versus Manchester United clash being termed as the most anticipated clash. Manchester City return to Barclays Premier League action tonight at Hull City at a need of 3 points to keep their title challenge on course. Cardiff City's strikers have been given special training sessions with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and they will be in search for goals away to Everton. Chelsea's faithful will look upon Jose Mourinho's men to extend their lead when the team visits Villa Park today. On Sunday, Manchester United manager David Moyes will be up against an unpredicted Liverpool side at Old Trafford, while Tottenham will welcome Arsenal, where neither Tottenham Hotspurs nor Arsenal will feel they can afford to lose the North London derby at White Hart Lane on Sunday. Well, thank you very much for watching KTN Weekend at 1. But don't forget to join us tonight on the Weekend Prime, where Ian Wafula brings us the second part of the series Behind Enemy Lines, and Joy Doreen Bira helps job seekers to find placement on KTN Job Center. I'm Najma Ismail. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.